Hi, I'm Stefan. I've been coming to Thailand since 2018, and in this video I will tell you everything there is to know about renting a condo in Thailand. I have some tips and tricks for you, and I want you to be aware of all the details when renting a condo in Thailand to make it as smooth of an experience as it could be for you. So let's get into it. So starting with the lease length. It's normally, the standard is 12 months. And sometimes you could find a lease at 6 months, usually the result of a negotiation. And there could even be some leases that are only 1 to 3 months, but that's quite rare. And also, the 1 to 3 months are usually a lot more expensive. Think twice or 3 times the money. So in this video, I will focus on the standard length of 12-month contracts. Now, a common question is, should you use an agency or not? Well, in Thailand, the norm is that the landlord or the owner of the condo will pay the agency to have people view it and find customers or tenants to live there. So for you, as a tenant coming to live or retire here in this beautiful country of Thailand, you will not pay for the agent. The owner will. So that might be room for negotiation for you, because if you don't use an agency, if you go that route, you could negotiate that, well, you as an owner or landlord don't have to pay the agent, so maybe we can lower the rent a little bit because you don't have to cover that cost. Now, it's not a huge cost for them, but it is, it's available for you if you want to be independent and go that route. I would definitely recommend myself that you choose an agent, especially if this is your first time or one of your first times renting in Thailand, because there are a lot of things to think about. There's a lot of bureaucracy going on, and it just makes it a lot safer for you, a lot more peace of mind, and also I think it has a lot of pros. So why do I recommend going with an agent? Well, I mentioned bureaucracy. In Thailand, the government needs to know the whereabouts of us foreigners roaming around their country. So it is mandatory by law that if you stay somewhere, they need to file a so-called TM30 form, which is basically a form that declares where you are and where you reside. That's not so easy to do by yourself, but the agency will easily take care of it for you. So that makes things a lot easier. If you go through an agency and you want to rent a condo, they will document any damage caused to the property before you move in. So they will snap pictures, they will write everything down, and you won't have to worry about anything. So that's good. A lot more peace of mind. And then speaking of peace of mind, they will also establish a group chat, usually on the Line application, which is the standard messaging app here in Thailand. So if you ever have any questions about your rental, about your condo, while you live there, you can just contact them via that group chat and the agent will respond. Like, is this normal? For me, for example, I got a bill in the mail the other day saying that, oh, you need to pay maintenance fees for the common areas and, things like that. And that was not in my contract, so I contacted the agent through that group chat on the Line app, and I asked, should I pay this maintenance fee? And they said no, the owner will pay that. And that was just peace of mind. Simple thing, but things of that nature, or if you have any questions, just contact the agent. That feels very good to me. Another good thing about going through an agent is that we all have different situations, right? We have different jobs, maybe we're retired, maybe we have different visas. Are we on a tourist visa, education visa, retirement visa, work visa, etc.? The agent will take some of your information and they will just show you condos that suit you and that are good for your specific situation. And that saves a lot of time and hassle, just makes the process a lot easier. And then how do you go about finding an agent and a property? Well, I would recommend the 3 main sites, which is Property Hub, DD Property, and HipFlat. So use these three to scout the area and the project and the type of condo that you're after. Now I should say that a lot of the listings on these sites are old listings that they keep updating and maintaining, so they're not necessarily always available. In fact, maybe quite often not available, but you will find like a general what it's like, so you can still get an idea about what that project is like and what type of unit you can get. So even if you can't get the exact unit in the listing, because they're just refreshed to, keep traffic coming to the sites. But it's good for you for scouting. Oftentimes, you'll see an agent listed on one of these three sites connected to the unit on the listing that you were looking for. And another way to find an agent, and a recommended way, is to just scout these three websites, find the areas that you like, and then just boots on the ground. Take a walk around. Look at the neighborhood, look at the project, see what you can get there. And then once you've identified your favorite ones, just walk in to the lobby, and on the bottom floor, you'll find the condo management office, which is called the juristic office here in Thailand. And there they will have staff for all the different purposes. Funny story, the condo that I live in right now, that I'm very happy with, I walked into the juristic office there on the bottom floor and asked, do you have any available units? They said, no, because the first person I encountered was purely a lawyer, and he didn't really have anything to do with the listings or available units or anything. But the answer was a clear no, right? And his English was not the best. But he was a nice guy. And then I met someone else heading into the office, and that was like an administrative role that she had. And she didn't really know in detail either, but she did know where to contact the agent that was assigned this property. So I contacted that agent on the Line app, and lo and behold, they had a few units available, and the agent was very nice and could show me all the units. But that's what I could recommend. You just go boots on the ground to the buildings, projects, areas that you enjoy, that you have scouted on the three main sites there, and then ask people in the juristic office until you get an answer. And you might have to ask around a little bit, as we could see from my little example here. Okay, so we've found a property, let's say. It's time to sign the contract. Well, first you pay a so-called booking fee, which takes the property off the market for you while they draft the official contract for you and the owner. And then you review the contract, and then when it's time to sign the contract together with the owner and the agent, you pay 2 months of a deposit fee for the property. And that deposit will be returned to you within a month of moving out, save for any damages you may have caused, but more on that later. And now, what is included in the contract, in the condo that you're renting? Well, first things first, always check the contract that they're using the standard city rates when it comes to water and electricity. Water should always be around 100 baht, sometimes less, which is very, very cheap. And the electricity is the most important one to check. The city government rates should be about 4 baht per kilowatt hour. So check that, so you get a normal electricity bill and no added costs to that, more than usual. And the agents are really good about checking that stuff as well, so you can rest assured. But that's a note. And also, the condos in Bangkok usually come, in Thailand in general, I should say, they come furnished fully, including everything. The furniture, the bedding, just everything, kitchenware, everything you need. And you shouldn't need to make many changes, right? But if you do, you need to contact the owner and get their written approval for you to make changes. So it's quite unlikely that you will have to make changes, right? But if you do make changes, you need to have the written confirmation from the owner. That's very important. You can make very small changes and it won't really matter that much. And the normal wear and tear is acceptable, of course. But if you make any bigger changes or anything that could be seen as damage, like maybe wall damage and you're hanging things up, that will be deducted from your deposit that we talked about earlier. So don't make too many changes, but you won't need to either. And something that you will probably want to arrange is the installation of your internet cable. So that's going to be from True or AIS is what I recommend, but usually the building has like an assigned provider. So for me it's True, and I just went to True and said I want fiber optics, and you'll pay between 500 to 800 baht per month, and you will get very fast internet. So what you do is you go to a mall or the closest office of the provider. For me it was True. So I go to the True store and then take a number and talk with them there at the service area, and then you can just arrange a time for a technician to come and install the internet for you. And then when it comes to payment, the best way is to actually have a Thai bank account, and I have a video on that, so check that out if you want to see why it might be nice to have a Thai bank account. It is the most beneficial way to pay for things here in Thailand, but you can, that said, you can use things like the Wise app, which is a very convenient payment method, but you'll have to pay some extra fees and maybe some currency exchange rates. So, or you will also get physical bills to your mailbox at the condo. You can then take that physical bill, head over to 7-Eleven or Tesco Lotus, hand it to the clerk there, and then you'll have to pay a small fee, maybe 20 baht or so, for them to handle the transaction for you. So it'll have barcodes or QR codes, and they will scan them for you, and then you can just hand cash to them at the register to pay that bill. And so it's very easy. And also on your phone, you can have something that's called the Smart Life app, which makes it so you can see your bills online in the app and then pay them through, for example, Wise in the app. As for the internet, you also get an app. So for me, I have a True app in the phone, and I can just go in there and pay those bills easily. Phone bill and internet bill. So that's very convenient. All right, so when it comes to moving out, right, contact the landlord or the agent about a month before it's time to move out, and then they will check for any damages. Remember, if you went through an agent, you will have very well documented through pictures and text stating all the previous damage that may have been to the condo, so you don't get liable for that. If there are any bigger damages above, normal wear and tear is acceptable. But if there are any bigger damages, then you pay for that through the deposit. So that just gets deducted as stated before. So no problem. Just a note about negotiation. As with many things in Thailand, there is in fact room for negotiation. So if you find a listing that you find valuable, that has the right price or maybe slightly too high, or maybe just want to save some money, you can go for some negotiation. I would normally recommend like 10, 20, 30% lower, but don't push it too much. You won't be taken seriously. But sometimes, a listing is a little bit too high. You want to take it down to a good value level. And if you want a 10% discount, standard negotiation tactics, try 20% first with the 10% in mind as your target. And there's a high likelihood you could probably meet at the 10% discount. For example, what I did as well is this condo that I'm in right now was listed at 16,000 baht per month, and I wanted to lower it a little bit. So what I did, I just had an offer, actually. I felt like I could pay 6 months upfront in advance, and I said I will do that on the condition that the general rent should be lowered to 14,000 per month. And I just asked through the agent if that's okay with the landlord. And the landlord just said, all right. So that was easy. I'm now paying 14,000 baht per month. And that was a successful negotiation, of course. And if you can do something like that, make life easier, make it a little win-win for the landlord and you, then chances are you're going to be able to, cut a good deal if they can have a good tenant. So it's worth trying. But the worst thing that can happen, right? What is the worst thing that can happen? Well, either they just say, no, you cannot pay. For example, my case here. No, you can't have it for 14,000 baht, but maybe you can have it for 15 or 16, like the original listing. That might be worth it. I mean, I actually think I would still take this at 16 because that's not too much. But it's nice to have the discount. So try to negotiate if you can. If you can't, maybe go with the listed price, or just find a different condo that you think fits your value proposition better. All right, so you are now ready for your condo search here in Thailand, coming over here to live or retire. I hope that this video was valuable to you, and please don't forget to like and subscribe to the video. If you have any questions or comments, maybe I forgot something, please put them in the comment section below. I would really love to hear from you, genuinely. And I would like to extend a warm thank you for watching. I appreciate that a lot. So I'll see you in the next video, right? Have a great day.